Hello, welcome back to class. I feel so excited to be with you today. And I want to also commend all of us for our performance during our second assessment. Many of us did so well, and I want to encourage us to keep up in that same pace. Let's not forget, hard work pays. In today's lesson, we are going to be learning another interesting topic, diet and food. First, we are going to be looking at the meaning of diet. Diet is what? Food. Diet means food. So when you hear someone talk about diet, the person is actually talking about food. Then the next thing we'll talk about is balance or adequate diet. Why some persons will call it balance or unbalanced diet. When we talk about balance, balanced diet is the food or is the meal that contains all the nutrients which the body needs to grow strong and healthy for the body to be able to function properly. Is the meal, is the food that contains, when they say nutrients, you can remember in our previous class we talked about nutrient. Nutrient is the classes of food that is for your food to be balanced. It means that you are taking all the nutrients, and when you take all these nutrients, it will help your body to grow well and to what? Be healthy. A balanced or adequate diet must contain carbohydrates, protein, minerals, water, fat and oil. That is a balanced what? Diet. While inadequate diet is the meal that does not contain all classes of food. Some are missing as you are taking the food. Maybe you decide to take only carbohydrates. There is no protein, or you put vitamins. There is no water. There is no fat and oil. That is what? Inadequate diet. But for you to have a balanced diet, all these classes of food must be there. Now the next thing we'll be looking at is, what is food? Food is what people and animals eat to live and grow well. So for you to grow well, for you to live, you need to eat what? Food. So food is what people and animals eat to live and grow well. Balanced diet or adequate diet. It makes the body grow properly. When you eat balanced diet, as you can see on my screen, you see the food you take. It's not like taking many portion of a particular diet. For example, you just take little carbohydrates. Inside the carbohydrate, inside the rice that you are eating, the next thing that is there is milk, there is fish, there is chicken, there is dodo, there is fruit for you to take after it. Then you also take water. So when you are doing this, you are taking what? A balanced diet. And when you take all this, it will make your body to grow what? Properly. And you will be looking very healthy because you are taking the good nutrients that your body need for growth. And when you are always taking a balanced diet, when you are always taking meal that contains all these nutrients, it will protect your body against diseases. And it also supply energy. When we talk about energy, that is, it gives us power to the body. And when there's power in your body, you'll be able to do a lot of what? Activities. You'll be able to carry out your what? Activities. It also help in body building materials. We know in our body there are a lot of organs. It will help them to grow and to be what? To be healthy. It repairs worn out tissues. So when you take balanced diet, you will be very, very far from the what? Hospital. That is why they said it is good to pay a good cook than to pay a what? A doctor. So when you are eating well, you will be far from the what? Hospital. Of inadequate diet on the family. That is when we are not always eating a balanced meal. When we eat, for example, we eat eba in the morning, eba in the afternoon, eba in the evening. it is not diet. All through that they did not take in a diet meal. And don't forget that a lot of carbohydrates, just taking one particular food causes a lot of things. It exposes everyone to what? Diseases. And when it exposes everybody to disease, there are some of the diseases that comes from different food. When your body system is lacking water, for example, there is a disease that you might have. Then when your body system is lacking protein, the disease that you'll be suffering from is what? Kwashiorkor. So you can see that when you leave some particular nutrients, you'll be having some what? Illness. Just as you can see on the screen, you see that child sitting on the chair suffering from what? Kwashiorkor. Then when the person is not taking carbohydrate, the person is not taking, we hear mommy will cook, after cooking will tell you, I don't eat rice, I don't eat beans, I don't eat this, I don't eat that. What do you now eat? Sweet and chewing. They are not what? Food. When you don't take in a lot of carbohydrate, you will be suffering from what? Maramos. And also inadequate take. When you are not taking all these diets into your body, it causes weakness of the body. You will be seeing the person does not even have strength to move. He's always tired. Why? Because he's not eating well. So all these are some of the effects of not taking our balanced diet. So what this lesson has just been able to do to us is for us to be able to know that effect of inadequate diet on the family, it causes weakness of the body, it causes sickness like paramos, it causes kwashiorkor, that is lack of protein. Then it exposes the family to different kind of what? Diseases. But when you eat well, you'll be far from all these sickness. So the is food preparation and preservation. All this food we've been talking about, how are they preserved? We know that some food that we eat are eaten or cooked, while some that we eat, you cannot eat them without what? Cooking them. For example, you cannot carry rice and be eating without preparing it, or beans, while some are prepared raw. But food must be well prepared and well preserved before what? Eating. There are some food, if you want to preserve them before eating, that is, they have different method. But the most important thing is that food should be well cooked and prepared in a neat environment, in a place that is clean, in a place that is free from germs. That is what we need to do. While preparing some of this food, the preservation is being done. So after the food has been prepared, we need to preserve them so that they will not get what? Spoiled. We need to preserve them so that we can use them the next time. That is what preservation means. It is a process of what? Preserving food so that it will not get what? Spoiled. And some of these methods are frying. And there are some things we can fry. Even without frying them, you can't really eat them like that. Like when we want to eat akara, you can't eat akara that is fresh. You have to do what? Fry it. So just that is how some other food are. You have to fry them before eating it. There are also some persons, if they don't fry the meat, they can't eat it. If they don't fry the fish, they can't eat it. Then also another way to preserve food is by what? Boiling. That's why we do that in most of our meal. We'll boil our meat before cooking. We'll boil our fish before cooking. When you want to prepare your beans, it will pass through boiling. When you want to prepare rice, it passes through boiling. When you want to prepare yam, it passes through boiling. Another one is roasting. When you talk about roasting, this one is mostly done with meat, cow meat, chicken, as you can see there. When you get a cow, you have to roast it first. When you get any meat that has to do with bush meat and the meat is raw, the first process is supposed to be what? to roast. So roasting is a method of, and once you've roasted it like that, it will make it to last long. It will not get spoiled easily. Then refrigerator, we know that refrigerator is fridge. We'll keep some of these food items in the fridge so that it will not get what spoiled, because when you keep it in the fridge, it can stay long than when it is not in the fridge. Then another method is what? Baking. Baking, actually, there are just some, is mostly on our snacks that we can do that. You notice they bake meat pie, cake, and all that. So when they are doing that, baking is also a way to preserve food from getting what spoiled, because when they bake a cake, that cake can last for a very long time, but when it's not baked, it will get spoiled. Then parboiling and milling, also a method of preserving food. So when all these food are preserved, it will be able to do what? To stay long. Then another method is sorting. When you want to preserve food, so you don't just feel like you don't want it to get spoiled. You are seeing it, I can't make use of it once, I need to keep it. You just sprinkle a lot of salt on it. When you sprinkle a lot of salt on it, you keep it. It will also prevent it from what? Getting spoiled. Then drying, you now carry it out. You put it where there is a reflection of sunlight on it. As you keep it in that position, there's a reflection of sunlight. When it's very dried, it will not get spoiled. That is why you see most of our fishes, they are always what? Dried. When the ones that are not very dried get spoiled easily. So all these methods are ways of preserving what? Food. We also have another one, hydration. We have the another one also, smoking. You know the food that most times they do all this to. Smoking is fish, that is mostly common. Then for hydration, you see it on the screen. All these are method of preserving food. And when we use this method to preserve our food, it will prevent what? Wastage. It will prevent it from getting what? Spoiled. So these are ways for us to preserve our food. And in this lesson, we've been able to learn a lot. Now we know that all of us, me and you, we need balanced diet in order to be what? Healthy. And me and you also, we have been able to know about ways that we can preserve our food from getting spoiled. Kids, see you in our next class.